Hello everyone, it's Bobby from Dig Coding, and this is the 15th video in the building and launching a real Django website series. If you've been following along, then congratulations, because you've now got a Django website live on a DigitalOcean droplet. So congratulations. If you haven't been following along, then the link to the playlist is just up here. Please subscribe to the channel and like the videos because it's a massive help. So this video, what I wanted to do was to bookend the first half, the first 14 videos, and to introduce what we're doing in the next half. So what we've done in the first half of this series is that we've built a website from a blank canvas and we've got it launched. So if you look at Diddemo.com, it depends when you're looking at it, there is a website live. Currently, as of April 2021, it looks terrible because that's all we've done up until now. We've just built a website, we've had no fancy stuff to it at all, and we just launched it with a coming soon page. The next half of the project will be all about adding some flavor to it, adding some new URLs, some user accounts, maybe some JavaScript, some beautifully crafted HTML templates, so that when somebody visits the website, it looks great, it's appealing, and it's exactly what we want. That's what we're doing in the next half. But let's recap on what we did on the first half. So we started in video one, we started a new project using Django admin, and we configured the settings.py file and the URL conf file. That's all we did. We just configured it to handle static files and media files. We added some bits and pieces to the installed apps, right? So we didn't do too much. The next video is when we upgraded from the out-of-the-box admin page to a new fancy pants admin page that requires a one-time 6-digit password to be added to log in. Now this password is generated using a third-party app such as Google Authenticate. So our back end is so much more secure than what it was beforehand. The next video along is when we started building our models. So this website Diddemo is to showcase my channel Dig Coding. The link is just up there. And what I wanted was an object for each of my videos that I put on my channel. So we created a model called media, and we added fields such as a URL field, an image field, a timestamp, and I think that was it actually. So I can add an object every time I add a video, and it will show as a gallery of sorts online eventually. So we created the model and we registered it to the new admin page. Next, we added some views. So we decided to use the out-of-the-box generic views called template view and list view. The reason I went with that is because you can use less code and get the same outcome. So you can write views such as class-based views or function-based views, but they generally take a little bit more code. So we want the same outcome with less code, right? That's what it's all about. So we wrote the views, and we also then added a urls.py file to our main app so that we can add to the URL patterns. So we added a home, an about, a contact, and a media URL. The next video is when we decided to build some HTML templates. So for each view, you need a template, HTML template. That is what's rendered on a browser when somebody visits a specific URL. So we created a whole bunch of templates. The next video is when we started thinking about some style, because HTML without style looks terrible. So we wrote a CSS file and we saved it in our static directory. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. So we added some style to our HTML. Not much style, but we added some style. Next, what we did is we looked at the out-of-the-box handlers for errors. So we have errors such as a 400, a 403, a 404, and 500. Now you would have come across these errors when you're browsing online. You might go to a URL that doesn't exist and you'll be shown a 404 page does not exist or page not found screen. Now Django has these out of the box. We can use the ones they have, but they don't look great and they're not in keeping with what we're trying to achieve here. So what we did in that video is we added some more HTML documents. So when somebody visits a URL that doesn't exist, they are met with a 404 page that we've actually designed ourselves. Same goes for an internal server error, and same goes for permission denied. But we had 4 HTML documents that we built. So that's what we did. Then what we looked at was maintenance mode. So we implemented Django maintenance mode. So we now have an ability as a super user to toggle maintenance mode on and off. So if we want to update code in the back end, we can switch maintenance mode on, so when users visit our website, they're met with a designed maintenance mode page, and then we switch it off again when the code has been implemented or tested, then implemented, and when the users visit the website again, they're met with their normal web pages. We use that same package to add a coming soon page as well. So the early stages of this project, we want a coming soon page and nothing else. So that's what we've got. The next stage was all about building a sitemap. So a sitemap is an XML file that sits on your website that tells search engines a little bit about your site, the makeup of your site, and it helps with SEO. So we didn't necessarily need to do that at this stage in the project, but we built a static sitemap anyway so that we can expand on it as the project grows. The video after that was all about upgrading to a more heavyweight database. So what comes out of the box is something called SQLite. It's a database, it's an SQL database, but it's very lightweight. It really isn't sufficient for what we want from this project. So we added Postgres, or we upgraded to Postgres. But not only that, what we did is we added multiple databases. And we also added database routers so we can tell Django what to do with certain models. So what models have certain reading and writing rights on the databases. Then what we did is we said, right, the website is ready. So we went to a registrar and we purchased our domain and we started configuring our email provider. In our case, we used Gmail. Then what we did is we went to DigitalOcean and we set up a droplet on DigitalOcean. Now a droplet is just a server, right? But we configured it, we selected a data center that was local to where we are to make it as quick as possible, and we got everything to the point, so the domain and the server to the point that we're ready to actually SSH to the server and start configuring it. So that brings us on to the 13th video. We used MobaXterm to SSH to the server that we'd just configured on DigitalOcean, and we configured it with things like Gunicorn, Nginx, and we added a couple of PostgreSQL databases to that server. We went through that video and the next video, which was video number 13. It was nearly an hour long though between them, those two videos, but we went through each step and each command until we had a fully configured DigitalOcean droplet set up with Gunicorn and Nginx so that we can render our production website on the web for the world to see. And that's where we've got to. It's worth pointing out that actually we now serve our static files using DigitalOcean Spaces, which is actually an S3 bucket, via a CDN, which uses a subdomain called static.diddemo.com. And that is where we got to. Actually, there was one thing that I missed out from the last video, and I will talk about it now. When I left video 14, I hadn't quite fixed the maintenance mode, so we didn't have the ability to switch maintenance mode using the URL. However, I figured it out. All you need to do is to use the command in MobaXterm and use Python manage.py maintenance_mode on. That's all you need to do. And to switch it off, it's the same command with off. So for some reason the URL didn't work. I've yet to figure out why, but that is it. That is the first half of the building and launching a real Django website series. I'm so happy that we've got to this point. It's been a very, very hectic 4 hours, but I think you'll probably agree, 4 hours isn't too shabby, right? We've built a website from scratch and launched it. Happy days. So, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to find a beautiful HTML template online and implement that into your project. This is going to save us days. That's probably an exaggeration. Certainly lots of hours of coding. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Please subscribe and please like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.